Okay, that's better. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed so far. I love you. Please bear with me. I'm using my roommate's light. I haven't used it before, clearly, because you guys have seen my other videos. So talk to you guys about today is pain. Last week I went on a hike. For those of you that know of this hike, it's called Potato Chip Rock in Poway. I think that's how you say that town. Poway, California. Anyways, the hike up was great. It was difficult, but it was definitely like a mental battle because I don't really do elevation hikes. But anyways, on the way down, I don't know if it was because I was super tired or what, but I literally misstep and twist my left ankle. And I literally like hop back up and I'm just like, let's go. Like the adrenaline is pumping and I'm like, if I sit here and dwell on the pain, it's gonna make it worse. And I need to be able to get back down this hill. So literally I'm like, my friend who went with me, she was like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, do we need to stop? And I'm like, no stopping. We need to go, go, go. And then literally like 5 to 10 minutes later, I misstep again, but my right ankle this time. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like, no, keep walking, keep walking. Like there's so much adrenaline at this point. Like I don't feel anything. And then finally make it back to the car, you know, drop her off, and I get home, I park, and my right ankle's fine. A little backstory, since I was a kid, I've always twisted my ankle, so that could have been part of what I'll be talking about later, but for the most part, like, as a kid, I used to always, I'd literally be coming down the stairs and be like, bloop, my ankle would just, bloop, you know, like, I'd misstep and twist it. So I feel like for that reason, my ankles have always been kind of like looser, but I maintain them because I work out. So I strengthen the muscles that surround the joint. And I literally get home and I like turn out to get out of my car and I take a step and my left ankle is like so much pain. Like now that the adrenaline has worn off, like I feel the throbbing and I can't put full weight on it. And why I wanted to talk about pain was because it made me realize, and also my mindset, but pain is one of those things that everyone experiences. No one is exempt from feeling pain. How long you feel it is up to the individual. And that's what I want to talk about, because pain comes in many forms. Sorry, I keep blinking because I'm not used to this bright light, but I really love it. I think I'm gonna have to invest in one for myself. Thanks, Ashley, for letting me borrow it. But anyways, yes, pain is something each and every individual on this planet feels. Whether it's emotional pain or mental pain or actual physical pain. And each individual handles those types of pain in a different manner. This is one of the reasons we all have to be kind to one another, because we don't know what that next person is feeling. We don't know what kind of pain they're going through. And in return, they also don't know what kind of pain you might be feeling or the pain you're going through. So if you know that you're feeling a certain way, depending on what the situation might be, you can't discount the other individual for feeling something as well. There are 7+ billion people in this world, which means there's 7+ billion forms of pain out there, because each person feels it differently. Part of learning to go within is learning the kind of pain you can tolerate, knowing what levels you can handle or can't handle, and knowing when you need to seek help for it. So clearly, I've always felt this. I've always had a high tolerance for pain. And I'm referring to physical pain. So twisting my ankle wasn't so bad that I needed to take Advil or go see a doctor. But that's because I know me and I know my body. I've spent at least the past 10 years working on knowing myself, because that's part of my spiritual journey. So I know the kind of pain I can tolerate. So the ankle sprain, even though everyone was suggesting certain things, like I was able to manage it without any medications, without seeing the doctor. But it also helps that my background is in kinesiology, athletic training. So I'm used to sports related injuries and rehabbing them. Pardon me, I feel mascara like flaking down. But anyways, pain. Now, I know that if it had been more severe, I would have stopped and I would have told my friend, like, we need to call people to come help me down, because I would feel it. Pain is a signal. And whether it is physical pain, emotional pain, or mental pain, it's a signal. It isn't something that should cripple you from living your life. Because it's a signal, you figure out what it is that you need to do to either control it or to work through it so that you can continue living your life. And I think what people realize is that, or not realize, I think what people think is that they shouldn't feel any pain or they should always be pain-free. And the truth of the matter is you're never going to be pain-free. If you can be physically pain-free, which is great, but if there's no physical pain, there might be some mental pain. If there's no mental pain, there might be emotional pain. And you have to learn what the triggers are for each thing. But no one can tell you what it is because you're the one feeling it. So you have to question it. You have to figure out, is it time for me to seek help and guidance, or is this something I can work through on my own? But you have to know that it's okay to feel. And I think that's the problem in our society these days, is people think it's not good to feel pain or that it's a weakness. But it only becomes a weakness if you allow it to overcome you and your willpower. But you have to realize that everyone experiences it and everyone deals with it differently. And you have to figure out for yourself how you want to deal with it and how you want to traverse it. Because once you get over it and I don't want to say over it, once you get through it, you become stronger. You become that much stronger. And in return, you have to understand that other people feel it too. So just because they may not feel it the way you do, or just because it's a different situation that makes them feel pain versus what makes you feel pain, doesn't mean that that person doesn't feel pain. Every single individual on this planet feels pain, and it's okay. And there's people here to help you and guide you so that you can grow through it. And I think another big problem in our society is that a lot of things that are out there that are legal, i.e. alcohol, prescription medications, they're used to numb the pain. And I get it, like in a certain degree, after surgery or something like that, like you have to have medication, but in order to like help modify or control the pain, because everyone's, like I said, tolerance is different, but it shouldn't be used as a crutch, and it shouldn't be used to numb, because like I said, pain is a signal. So part of feeling that pain is knowing how much more you can move or take. And I want to give an example. I remember I had a client at Crunch who was taking a pain medication for a condition that affects the trigeminal nerve of the face. So she's very sensitive to touch, or even like a wisp of wind will even cause like this sharp shooting pain. So she was used to taking medication every morning to help control that feeling. And when I was taking her history, she would go hard in the gym too. Like the trainer that she had before me, they trained hard. And there was a day when I first got to know her and just to see how she does things or where she was at as far as her strength goes. When she told me that she takes the medication every day, I was like, oh, like, I don't think that's a good idea, because you're not going to feel like if anything happens or in your joints anywhere else, you're not going to feel pain, because pain's a signal. And she was like, what? And like, yeah, I was like, your next training session, like, I want you to come in and see if you can take that medication after our training session, because I want to see what you can do, if your body can actually feel what it needs to feel. And so she did. And then even over the weekend, she didn't take her medicine in the morning, and her face was doing okay, but she realized her knee was really bothering her, and she didn't understand why. And so she went to the doctor, and sure enough, the doctor told her that she had a torn meniscus. So all this time she was taking these medications to control the pain here, but it was also masking pain in other parts of her body. So all that difficult and hard training she was doing before, she could have possibly had torn her meniscus at that time, but didn't know that anything had happened because her pain was masked. So you have to understand that pain is a signal our body gives us to let us know when something is wrong. And when we find out what that thing is that is wrong, we have to figure out how to get it back to normal or how to get it healthy again. So that's one reason I wanted to talk about pain and why it's okay to feel it, because everyone does. You're not alone. And you have to find ways to work through it, wean off of anything that helps you numb the pain, and to find the right people to help guide you do it. If you feel like it's something that you can't deal with on your own, that's why there's experts in different fields like psychology, counseling, physical therapy, and things like that. So depending on what type of pain that it is that you feel, mental, emotional, or physical, if it's at a level that you think you can't handle, seek the proper help to help you get through it. And make sure that help is helping you get through it. Make sure that person or that expert is helping you get through it and not just helping you numb it. Because I don't want that. That's not my message. I love you guys. Feel free to leave comments below, subscribe to the channel. I'm putting more of myself out there. I'm putting my own experiences out there. A lot of this is self-reflection, things I've worked on myself and have gone through. So in turn, like, if you have questions, feel free to ask. I can give you advice based on what I've gone through myself. And depending on the area you live in, I might have resources for you as far as people to reach out to that can help you get through these things. So I love you. Be kind to one another, and love always.